Welcome to another episode of Lunchtime with MeSsArOuNd. Here today to talk about Chicago sports and any sports news in general. So first off, we're going to start about the new coaching hire for the Chicago Bears. The Bears and they hired a GM too as well. Ryan Poles, they got him from Kansas City. Seems to be a real smart, intelligent guy.
Clean up the hallway.
Comes from Kansas City, and that fully learned from Brett Beach and Scott Pioli and numerous other GMs. And then for their head coach, they hired Matt Eberflus, the DC from the Colts. Don't know what to think about it yet. I'll hold my reservations till the first game, see how his coaching style is and whatnot. His defenses in Indy were always pretty good, top 10. I know they had a bad showing against the Jaguars in the last game. A lot of people are mad that we hired this guy because of that one game. It was just one game, and it was a division game at that, so they know each other. And he seems to be I think he'll be the right guy. I watched their press conference today, and the only thing I'm kind of worried about is they're going to switch from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3, and I don't know what that means for players like Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. Maybe one or both of them gets traded. I don't think both of them will, but Mack probably could be a candidate to get some draft picks back. Also, excuse me, still fighting this cold from the COVID thing. I'm over it, but the cough lingers. Eberflus, since he got hired, has been making some hirings on the staff, like Brandon in the comments here mentioned. He's already got his offensive coordinator in place from Green Bay, Luke Getsy. I know he didn't call plays for Green Bay. That was Matt LaFleur. Excuse me. But he did have a hand in their passing game. He came up with the concepts and stuff for some of their passing things they did. And I think it'll be really good for Justin Fields and his development because he's going to use a lot of the play action, a lot of the rollouts, bootlegs, and things that will really cater to Justin Fields' strengths. So, having said that, I'd look for Justin Fields to take major strides next year. I'm not saying he'll have like a Joe Burrow type improvement, but it'd be cool if he did. And then he brought over a couple guys from Indianapolis. I can't remember their names, but they're on the defensive side of the ball. And he had his press conference today. He said that he won't be calling plays for the defense. He'll leave that up to the coordinator, but it's going to be his defense that they're running. So, and then a couple more hires that came in this weekend. The Raiders hired Josh McDaniels and Dave I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name. Guy from the Patriots. Dave Ziegler, I think his name is. Anyways, I think that's good for the Raiders. We'll see if Josh learned a lot from his first go-around with the Broncos when he was coach there. Didn't do too hot there. Chased Jay Cutler out of town, which is good for us. Give his quarterback. Yeah, I hate you. I'm not even going to comment on that, Brandon. Shut up. The Packers also lost Nathaniel Hackett to the Broncos. He wasn't their offensive coordinator. He was their offensive coordinator in name only, and he'll be the head coach of the Broncos now. And he's bringing over the Packers tight end coach to call the offense for the Broncos. And then who else got hired? trying to think of the other coaching hires. I know there's another one. Oh, Brian DeBall from the Giants. He left Buffalo OC post to go take over the Giants. He's the guy I kind of wanted the Bears to get, but I kind of think he'll do well with New York. He might bring Trubisky with him. I don't know if he's going to trust Danny Dimes. And, I wanted the Bears to get him, but at the same time, we'd been down the offensive coordinator route. We had Matt Nagy, and look how that worked out. Not very well. And then we had Mark Trestman as OC. That was a dumpster fire show. And the only times that we've really been good is when we had defensive coordinator. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the back button on my laptop. I'm back. Yeah, like I was saying, the only time we've really had good seasons when we've hired a defensive guy, we had Lovie Smith, who we let go after he was 10-6. Yeah, I thought we should have kept him around. I agree. My thoughts on Harbaugh might become the Vikings head coach. That's the guy I really wanted the Bears to get, but according to reports, he did interview with the Bears over the phone, and they came close to a deal, but he wanted like a John Gruden type deal, and the Bears owners weren't comfortable giving him that kind of deal. So they passed on that. And honestly, I think Harbaugh's just using this as leverage to get a contract from Michigan. And if he does it, he'd be smart to go to Minnesota, actually, because they have all the weapons there already. They got Thielen, Jefferson, Cook. Their defense is already pretty good. So I think it'd be a good hire, and it's smart for him to go there. He could win immediately if he went there. They'd be a contender with his offense and the way he likes to run the ball, and they've already got Dalvin Cook. I think it'd be smart for him to go there, but there's reports out that he was going to tell his Michigan football players that he was leaving today to take the job in Miami. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, maybe he's just using it as a ploy to get a bigger contract from Michigan. A lot of people are saying that he doesn't really want to leave Michigan, but then people are saying he wants to get back into the NFL. So we'll see where it goes with that one. There's still a few teams out there looking for coaches. The Texans are looking for a coach. Brian Flores is rumored to be a candidate on that one. And then the Saints, Flores is also interviewing there. They also interviewed Dennis Allen. The Dolphins still haven't decided. The Vikings. I think if I was a Vikings fan, I want Gerard Mayo, however you say his name, the DC of the Niners to be their next coach. I think he'd be a great hire for them. But Harbaugh, you can't go wrong with him too. And I agree. If Harbaugh gets there, I don't think it'd take him long to win a Super Bowl for Minnesota with the way he likes to use the RPOs and the running of the football and playing tough defense. Oh, also, I just remembered during that press conference, I thought it was really weird with Coach Eberflus and Brian Poles. The reporter asked them a question, and the question was, how long are your contracts? How long are you guys here for? And both of them said, we're not going to talk about that. Like, I just thought it was weird because most times, every time that, it's either 3 or 4 years, but they're like, no, we're not talking about that. And then they asked the owner, George McCaskey, why are they not saying how long they're here for? And he said, well, it's out of respect for them. They didn't want that information to be known or shared, so we're not going to do that. Anybody catch those playoff games this weekend? Kansas City had it, and then Patrick Mahomes probably played his worst half as a professional. He would look really bad in that game in the overtime. Then he threw a pick in overtime. Andy Reid came out and said that was on him. He's the one that called the play. I just thought Kansas City looked really flat in the second half. They should have ran the ball more than they should have. But congrats to Cincinnati, the Bengals, and Joe Dirt getting to that Super Bowl. And then the Niners and Rams game. I'm so super excited for Matt Stafford after all those bad years he had in Detroit to finally get into the Super Bowl and win some playoff games. He was 0-3 before this, and he's 3-3 now. Hopefully he wins the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm on the fence. Like, I want the Bengals to win, and I want the Rams to win too because I want Stafford to get his first ring. But then I want the Bengals to win too because they've never won it before. Either way, I'm happy. They got lifetime deals. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Yeah, and then the Niner guy, Tart, I think his name was, dropped the easy pick at the end of the game. Wow, that could have ended the game. Well, not necessarily ended the game because there's like 9 minutes left in the game, but it could have given Niners a chance to run some clock, maybe score, and make the lead bigger. But that's why he plays defense and not offense. That's why he's not a receiver. So we're going to jump into some basketball now. The Chicago Bulls, my team, have won more games this year than they did all of last year. Or they tied it, rather. They're 31-18. Nobody expected them to be this good. I mean, people expect them to be a playoff team or maybe on the outside. But they're second right now in the Eastern Conference, behind the Nets, I believe. And then another surprising team is the Cavaliers. They're third. Nobody saw that one coming either. Excuse me. There's talks about Zach LaVine not being a team guy. Had selfish, wants his own numbers. For him not being a team guy, like people said, there was a report that they were on the way back from San Antonio or one of the games. I can't remember which one. And he got on the PA and he announced that DeMar DeRozan had made the All-Star team. If he's not a team guy, he wouldn't do that. He's totally a team guy, and he's so underrated as a scorer. And now he's got help in DeRozan and Vooch. I still think they need to go out and get a power forward if they're going to compete in the playoffs. I'd like to see them get someone like Ben Simmons, but to get someone like that, you got to give up a lot. And right now, I don't think the Bulls have the assets to pull off that kind of deal. And then, yeah, the Minnesota Timberwolves are another surprising team. Anthony Edwards, Jonathan Towles, and what's that point guard's name? I can't remember his name. It escapes me for some reason, but he's a pretty good player too. And then there's like Brandon says, how about those AARP Lakers? We had a buddy on MI6, Isaiah, and Lower Overbull said they were going to win 70, or maybe it's just Isaiah that said they were going to win 70 games. Not going to happen. That team's too old. They might turn it on at the end of the season. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll do anything more than maybe possibly get out of the first round. I don't see them beating teams like Golden State, Utah. I think Minnesota would even give them trouble. I honestly do. That team's old and they're broken down. LeBron put together a terrible team. I'm not saying the GM because it's all LeBron. He's the one that drives that train and tells them who to get. Wrecks every team and leaves. He'll probably leave and go back to Cleveland again after this season or demand to be traded. I was going to talk baseball, and there's talks there going on. The labor union and the MLB owners and players are talking. They were close to a deal, and then they revised it, and now who knows what they're doing. I still think they get a deal done before pitchers and catchers report, which is like a week or two away, so they need to get something done. Hockey, my Blackhawks are terrible. I'm not even going to get into that. It's just horrible all around hockey. I only follow hockey because it's a Chicago team, and I really don't even follow it until the playoffs. Same thing with basketball, though. I really don't follow that until the playoffs start. My fantasy team's really been sucking lately because I haven't been checking my lineup, haven't been setting it. I just lost a big B because I forgot to set my lineup. If there's anything else you guys would like me to talk about, let me know. I'd hit the 15-minute mark. So, what's for lunch before my 8th nap? Well, I haven't even taken one nap. Well, no, I took a nap once. After the kids went to school, I did take a nap for an hour. I'm going to eat the rest of my sub from last night. I only ate half of it, so yeah, it's going to be good. And then I also got this awesome energy drink called Ghost. Creamsicle flavored. They're new. If you haven't tried this, it's amazing. Go out and get yourself some if you're an energy drink fan. The taste is wonderful. I love it. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I'll check you guys out next Monday. Have a good day, and thanks for having lunch with MeSsArOuNd.